If the New York Giants want to turn this season around and get it on track, there are two things they have to change right now. You're watching Giants Now by Chat Sports, and I am your host, Marshall Green. Appreciate everybody for rolling in. Fortunately, it is not Victory Monday. I wish it was. But it could be Victory Monday next week against the Dallas Cowboys. And if you want that to happen, if you want the Giants to even up their record at 1-1, hit that thumbs up icon for me. If you told me we'd start the season 1-1, but it meant a win against the Dallas Cowboys, I 1,000% would have signed up for that. All right, two things the Giants need to change right now. Number one, play Abdul Carter. Why on earth did the player that you selected number 3 overall in the NFL draft watch more plays from the sideline yesterday than he did play? He played 38 of the 70 defensive snaps in week 1. I'm not asking Abdul Carter to go 70 for 70. I'm not asking him to play 65 of 70. I'm not asking him to play 60 snaps out of 70. Can we get to 50? Can we get to 55? 38 of 70 snaps. When he was your best defender yesterday, based on Pro Football Focus grades, is actually a joke. Here's the entire split of all of the edge snaps that were divvied up between the big four. Kayvon Thibodeau led the way, 52 of 70. Brian Burns, 47 of 70. And this with him having to miss a drive because he was getting his ankle taped up. Abdul Carter, 38 of 70. And Chauncey Golston, 11 of 70. Abdul did play 5 plays on special teams. If you want to say that, he played 43 snaps to make yourself feel better, sure. The fact that he was not on the field, though, for 22 snaps yesterday doesn't really make all that much sense to me. 32. I can't do math. 32 snaps he didn't play. An absolute joke. You look at the grades, the Pro Football Focus stats. Kayvon Thibodeau graded out at a 67.9, 71.9 on run defense. I thought Kayvon was actually pretty solid yesterday. Tough to say anybody played all that great, considering the New York Giants gave up 430 total yards. Pass rush grade, not great, but he had 3 pressures and half a sack. Brian Burns led the way in the sack department with 2 sacks. He had a PFF grade of 71 on defense, 76.3 against the run. The lowest pass rush grade is 66.6, And there's Abdul Carter, 81.5 defensive PFF grade, 65.5 against the run. The best pass rush win grade amongst the trio with 3 pressures and half a sack. And in limited action, Chauncey Golston didn't do much. Not great early returns on the money the New York Giants gave him. I know it's not rocket science, but can we just get Abdul Carter on the field more? He's your best defensive player outside of Dexter Lawrence right now. And he only played 38 of the 70 snaps. In fact, he didn't log his first NFL snap until play 6 of the football game. How on earth is that possible? How do you draft a generational pass rusher? A guy that whooped the butt of every single Giants offensive lineman in training camp. Whooped the butt of Deion Dawkins in the preseason against the Buffalo Bills. Dominated the New York Jets in joint practices, who their offensive line looked pretty damn good in week 1. How does this man not get on the field until play 6? How does that happen? Art Stapleton saying this. Brian Daboll stressed that the edge rotation with Brian Burns, Kayvon Thibodeau, and Abdul Carter and the snap distribution is a conscious effort to make sure the players are fresh this early in the season. I asked him if they were cautious in putting too much on Abdul's plate in his NFL debut, and Daboll said no, that wasn't it. We're trying to keep people fresh in week 1. Do we think a long playoff run is coming for this football team? You should be in better shape right now than you will be the rest of the season. That's what OTAs are for. That's what rookie minicamp is for. That is what minicamp is for. That's what the preseason is for, is to get into game shape, not work your way in to game shape. I promise you Abdul Carter can shoulder more than 38 snaps on defense. Come on, man. You don't have time to waste, Brian Daboll. You don't have time to ease this guy into the fold. third overall pick, second best player on the defense, already the highest graded player on this defense. Take the reins off of the young bull and let him go to work. Dan Duggan saying, Brian Burns, yesterday during the game, Brian Burns just came in to sub for Abdul Carter. Looked like Carter didn't want to leave the field. So Burns shoved him in the back towards the sideline. Must have been real tired, didn't want to leave the game. Then Dan Duggan spoke to Brian Burns about it after the game, said, ask Brian Burns about it post-game. His response, quote, that wasn't nothing. That was just I had to come in and get him. I love Abdul, but he's a dog. He doesn't want to come out of the game. It's just like little brother, big brother. It wasn't nothing serious. He just didn't want to come out of the game because he's an effing baller. I'm not going to lie. Y'all ain't seen him yet. Kid's got dog. Of course he didn't want to come out of the game. He was fresh. He only played 38 snaps. He probably didn't have to ice up after the game. Ice up, son. Shout out to Steve Smith. Probably didn't even have to do that because he only played 38 defensive snaps yesterday. Outside of Abdul Carter not playing all that much, it seemed like every big play, the Giants didn't have their best football players on the field. You'd look and be like, why is Elijah Garcia and DJ Davidson in instead of Dexter Lawrence? I'm looking at the edge group, and it's like, why is Kayvon Thibodeau and Chauncey Golston on 3rd and 7, and Brian Burns and Abdul Carter are chopping it up at the water cooler? The Giants were not ready to play mentally, physically, and their coaches, they failed them yesterday. Oh, yeah. And one more thing on Abdul Carter. Enough of spying him. You're taking your best pass rusher away from doing what he does best. He played 38 snaps, and 6 of them he did this. Just watching Jaden Daniels. Just watching him. Taking himself out of the play. I spoke about this with my dad last weekend, prior to the game. He said, Giants should try to spy Abdul Carter a little bit against Jaden Daniels. I said, absolutely not. We are going to run into the same situation that the Dallas Cowboys did with Micah Parsons, where they tried to move him all over the football field his rookie year. But they woke up one day and they said, maybe if we just play this guy off the edge for 100% of the snaps, he can rack up 15 sacks. And that's where he could be best used and be best at and affect winning the most. And we're already there with Abdul Carter. I don't need to see him, Jaden Daniels, spying up the middle. I don't need to see him playing off-ball linebacker. Put your hand in the dirt and go cause havoc in the backfield. It's what he does best. Abdul Carter, throughout the pre-draft process, was asked more than anybody, what's your favorite position to play? Because that's how versatile he is. You know what his answer was every single time? I like coming off the edge. I like playing pass rusher. I like putting my hand in the dirt on the edge and rushing the passer. You know why? Because he's generational at it. So put him on the field for more than 38 snaps. Have him stop taking himself out of the game by spying the quarterback. I don't understand. I don't understand. It's like drafting a pass-catching running back and not having him catch passes. A sign of a good coach is getting the most out of your players, putting your players in positions to be successful. The Giants did not do that yesterday. Unreal. Guess what? There's still one more thing this team needs to change, as well as a long laundry list of other things. You lost the season opener 21-6. A lot more things need to change, but this one might be more egregious than Abdul Carter. First, though, I got to tell you about our proud sponsor, Chubbies. When you go to chubbyshorts.com/chatsports, you get $10 off your purchase. All that information will be clickable down in the comments and description of today's video. The leaves are turning, ladies and gentlemen, and the temps are dropping, and the weekend air is getting that nice autumn crisp. Just because the weather is changing over doesn't mean you have to pack away the fun. Chubbies is here to make sure your fall wardrobe hits harder than a PSL on a slow Sunday morning with soft, stretchy, fall-ready staples built for maximum comfort and minimal effort. Mark your calendars. The Chubbies Fall Collection drops September 9th, and it's packed with cozy gear that brings the metaphorical and real heat. And later this month, they're launching their new Comfort Collection, featuring the Everywhere Jogger. It's the perfect pant for impromptu naps, weekend errands, and everything in between. Whether you're layering up for tailgates, lounging through lazy Sundays, or just leaning fully into fall comfort, Chubbies has you covered. For a limited time, Chubbies is giving our listeners $10 off their order with the code CHATSPORTS at ChubbyShorts.com. That's code CHATSPORTS at ChubbyShorts.com. Support the show and show your thighs some respect with Chubbies. Alrighty. I'm trying not to crash out, and I am failing to do so because I know who I am. I'm going to crash out. I have now watched every Giants red zone play 3 times. Thinking of the Giants red zone offense, script, and execution legitimately makes my stomach hurt. Like, I am nauseous, wanting to vomit, watching what the Giants put on display in the red zone. It's no longer the green zone. The Tom Coughlin era is done. It is the doom zone. Because when they get there, they never, ever score. 11 plays for the New York Football Giants inside the 10-yard line yesterday. 13 in total in the red zone. And they scored 3 points. That is hard to do. And the New York Giants, they did it so well. The play to Marcus Bowe, the first play of the season from the 1-yard line that you've been game planning for since you last played football, makes my blood boil. And it should make every single player on this team question if this is a team that is serious about winning. I tweeted this out, a video of the play. And I just said this. This is disgusting. First play of the season from the 1. And the Giants try to run a gimmick play. That set the tone for the rest of the game. How about just execute and beat the other team? Blow them off the ball. Or heck, like I said live on the watch party, run 4 QB sneaks in a row. Soft and gimmicky is what the Giants offense was in week 1. When you try to outsmart and out-trick a team, you're submitting from the 1-yard line. You had an opportunity to play smash mouth football. You had an opportunity to set the tone, to blow them off the ball, to say, hey, it's 7-0, but we're going to push you into the end zone and we're going to go even up this score, and we're going to let you know the 2025 Giants are going to play smash mouth football. But no, Brian Daboll and Mike Kafka said, we're smarter than you over there, Dan Quinn. We're going to trick you. We're going to bring in a backup offensive lineman, put him at that tight end spot, make him eligible, and we're going to run a naked bootleg that way and find him in the end zone, and we're going to get a fat boy touchdown. You didn't. You didn't. And you lost the game on that play. You told your offensive line, I have no confidence in you that you can get 1 yard. You told your running backs, I have no confidence in you that you can get 1 yard. And you told all your quarterbacks, we don't know how to run a QB sneak. We are not good enough to go and earn 1 yard against this team. We're not good enough to go and beat them for 1 yard. So we're going to try to pull a rabbit out of the hat and go dance in the end zone with 71 for a fat boy touchdown. I would have fired Brian Daboll after that play. It's a joke, an absolute joke. And you know what? They probably thought they had to get tricky in the red zone. You know why? Because in 2023, you're the second worst red zone TD percentage. In 2024, you had the worst TD red zone percentage. And once again, you are the worst red zone offense in the National Football League. It's an absolute joke how inept the New York Giants are in the red zone, going on 3 freaking seasons. In the red zone, good teams score touchdowns. Bad teams kick field goals. And the New York Giants are a bad football team. Yet again. Like, do we think the Giants are good enough to kick field goals in the red zone and win football games? What did the Commanders do when they got in the red zone? Touchdown to Zach Ertz. Touchdown to Bill Krosky-Merritt. The dude changed his name to Bill. I'm over it. I'm over it. The offensive line, I feel bad for them because they didn't get the opportunity to go punch somebody in the mouth. But I need them to play with a little bit more pride. Jermaine Illuminor is a Hall of Fame tweeter. He's a Hall of Fame quote creator. He can tell me all the things to fire me up. How about you drive somebody and engage them and push them into the frickin' end zone? And you know what's the worst part? It ain't going to get any better with Russell Wilson. It's not. Your quarterback is a non-threat inside the red zone with his legs. And he can't throw over the middle of the football field. How many times did we see Russell Wilson in the red zone throw it out of the back of the end zone? Not able to get the ball to his receiver because he can't see them. Giants football's back, baby. Can't run, can't block, can't score in the red zone. A recipe for picking inside the top 10. Giants are paying real estate these days for those picks. Make sure you are following me on social media. If they don't fix these things, there will be new people in this building to fix them next season. Make sure you are following me. Pick it up. Just pick it up.